Hello friends, in this video I am going to tell you Java 8 interface changes, default method and static methods. So prior to Java 8, interface in Java can only have abstract methods. All the methods of interfaces are public and abstract by default. Java 8 allows the interface to have a default and static methods. The reason we have default methods in interfaces is to allow the developers to add new methods to the interface without affecting the classes that implements these interfaces. So let's see the practically. So here I have right here some code which I have declared one interface A which have the one abstract method called add, and I have one class C which implements this interface A. So I have override the abstract method of interface A class C. So within this main method, I have just called that implemented method of interface A. So first I'm going to run this code. So you can see here main method and then C class add method. Okay. So here if I want to add one method within the interface, so before Java 8, what we have to do? We have to declare that method as a abstract. If my method name is suppose sub. Okay, so for this, I have to implement this method within this class C, or else I have to make this class as abstract. Okay, so you can see here now I can if run these for abstract class we cannot create one object here, right? So what's the problem is that, so if I have write one interface and this interface I have implemented in a class and I want to add some methods within that interface which is the abstract method, so I have to provide implementation for that abstract method within the our class, right? So if the implemented interface and within the class is suppose one or two, then it's easy to implement that method. But what if the thousands of classes or hundred of classes implements the interface A, and then I have to introduce one new abstract method within this interface, then you know how much problematic it is, right? So to avoid this kind of problem, Java introduced the default method concept, right? So here I have removed the abstract. So okay, so I have declared the sub method as a default, right? And provide here implementation for this sub method, and write here one statement, this out, and within this I have to declare that interface A sub method, right? So this is the basic syntax of default method, default void sub. This is method name, return type, and the default keyword before the method. So for the call this calling for this sub method, how we can call? So just c dot sub and save it and run it. Java class. You can see here main method, C class add method, and interface A subtract sub method, right? So the next question is, can we override default method of interface? This interface default method, can we override? Hmm? Yes, sure, we can. So I'll show you how we can override here. So at the rate override annotation and public void sub. So here I can write here C class sub method, right? So save it and see, for before running this, I'll show you first our first output. What is this? Main method, C class add method, and then interface a sub method, right? So now you can see here what the output is. So you can see here C class sub method. So that means we can override this interface default method, right? Okay, so now you have clear this question, why default method is introduced within the interface, and can we override default method of interface? Okay, now we are going for the third question, why static method is introduced within interface, right? So the reason is the static methods is interface the static methods in interface are similar to default method, so we need not to implement them in the implementation classes. We can safely add them to the existing interfaces without changing the code in the implementation classes. Since these methods are static, we cannot override them in the implementation classes, right? So I'll show you. The static method syntax is make that method as a static, then the return type, and then method name. So I will write it here print, then provide body. Interface static method, right? So for to calling the static method, we are using interface name dot print. So you can call the interface static method with the interface name dot print, like as a class static method. So we can call the static method of class like a class name dot static method name. So like that we have to call interface name dot static method name. So let's print it here, run the application. You can see an interface static method, right? Okay, so now you can know the answer of these three questions, right? So this is the most fundamentally question asked about the Java 8 interface functionality. So here we are in next video, we are going to see default and static method implementation with inheritance concept of Java, right? So thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.